Mehmed the Conqueror was one of the most powerful and influential rulers in world history. He transformed the Ottoman Empire into a global superpower and achieved what many thought was impossible: the conquest of Constantinople. His victory ended the thousand-year-old Byzantine Empire and changed the course of history forever. Early life of Mehmed the Conqueror. Mehmed was born in Edirne, the Ottoman capital. He was the son of Sultan Murad. Unlike many princes raised only for luxury, Mehmed received an intense education from childhood. He studied military strategy, politics, Islamic law, mathematics, philosophy, literature, and languages. By his teenage years, he could reportedly speak several languages, including Turkish, Arabic, Persian, Greek, and Latin. His teachers were strict because the Ottoman court believed future rulers had to be both warriors and scholars. Becoming Sultan, Mehmed first became Sultan at only 12 years old after his father temporarily stepped down. But Europe saw the young ruler as weak. Christian kingdoms launched attacks against the Ottomans, forcing Murad to return and defend the empire. After his father's death, Mehmed became Sultan again at 19 years old. This time he was determined to achieve a dream that Muslim rulers had pursued for centuries: the conquest of Constantinople. Why Constantinople was so important? Constantinople was one of the greatest cities in the world. It was the capital of the Byzantine Empire, a center of Christianity and a major trade hub between Europe and Asia. The city was protected by massive defensive walls. For nearly 1,000 years, Constantinople had survived countless sieges. Its famous Theodosian walls were considered nearly impossible to break. Many armies had tried to conquer the city. Most failed. Mehmed believed he would succeed, preparing for the Great Siege. Mehmed spent years preparing carefully. He understood that brute force alone would not defeat Constantinople. So he focused on advanced artillery, naval power, siege, engineering, and psychological warfare. Massive cannons. Mehmed hired a Hungarian engineer named Orban to build enormous cannons. One giant bombard could fire huge stone balls, powerful enough to shake the city walls day and night. These weapons were among the largest cannons ever seen during that era. The Siege of Constantinople. The siege began in the spring of 1453. Mehmed's army may have numbered more than 80,000 soldiers, while the Byzantines had fewer than 10,000 defenders. The Byzantine Emperor Constantine Palaiologos personally led the defense. Despite being heavily outnumbered, the defenders fought fiercely, the Golden Horn strategy. One of the city's strongest defenses was the Golden Horn, a waterway protected by a massive iron chain. Blocking enemy ships, Mehmed responded with one of the most famous military maneuvers in history. He ordered Ottoman ships to be dragged across land on greased wooden tracks and launched into the Golden Horn behind the chain. This shocked the defenders and weakened the city's position dramatically. Final assault and fall of Constantinople. Mehmed launched the final assault after weeks of brutal fighting. Ottoman forces eventually breached the walls. Emperor Constantine died in battle. Constantinople fell to the Ottomans. At only 21 years old, Mehmed achieved what many rulers before him could not. The Byzantine Empire officially ended. Why the conquest changed history. The fall of Constantinople became one of the greatest turning points in history. The Eastern Roman Empire disappeared after more than 1,000 years. The Ottoman Empire rose as a dominant world power controlling major trade routes. Many Byzantine scholars fled westward, bringing ancient Greek knowledge with them, helping fuel the Renaissance in Europe. Many historians consider the conquest the end of the Middle Ages. Mehmed after the conquest. After capturing the city, Mehmed did not destroy it. Instead, he rebuilt and transformed Constantinople into the new Ottoman capital. Eventually, the city became known as Istanbul. He encouraged trade, architecture, education, and religious diversity. People from many backgrounds were invited to settle in the city, Hagia Sophia. One of Mehmed's most famous actions was converting Hagia Sophia from a cathedral into a mosque. The building became a symbol of Ottoman victory and power. Today, Hagia Sophia remains one of the world's most famous landmarks, Mehmed as a ruler. Mehmed was more than a conqueror, he was also a reformer, a lawmaker, a patron of art and science, and a brilliant strategist. He centralized the Ottoman state and strengthened its administration. He admired aspects of both Islamic and Roman traditions, and even called himself Caesar of Rome, personality and legacy. Mehmed was known for extraordinary ambition, intelligence, ruthlessness in war, strategic brilliance, and visionary leadership. To supporters, he was a heroic conqueror and empire builder. To enemies, he was a feared and relentless ruler. Either way, his impact on history remains.